Good now. There we go, we're good now. Hello and welcome to PIR pre-season 4, season 9. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of a weird mic situation which wasn't working for some reason. But we are here now. This is the pre-season race. This is just a friendly race for everyone to come in and look at their new teams. Work out a few drivers in their teams, some of the teammates as well. So this is just a bit of a fun race, and just really to get to know the cars and some of their teammates. So yeah, it shouldn't be a too bad of a race for everyone. So we have a few newbies actually hitting their first race with us, and some of them that are returning for another season, and some that are returning completely and joining back. So we have Arji Kajer, who's actually now we'll go through the TP lists and some of the other stuff as well. So the team principals for this season. So we have some new ones. We have some returning TPs. So yeah. So we have Tom, who was the Red Bull TP, has now moved to Williams. Leo, who was one of our new TPs, has gone to McLaren. Torteria has moved to Alpine. Will, who's returning for us, is now Alfa Romeo. Myself, who was at Alpine, is now at Red Bull. Arji Kajer is at Mercedes. He was one of our new ones. Coffee Machine, another one new one, he's at Ferrari. Cosmic was at Haas, now at Aston Martin. L Glasses is stuck with AlphaTauri. Bizarrely and Sonoris is at Haas. So, that's our TP list. We'll go through some of the driver moves that we know of at the minute for the seasons. So yeah. We'll go through that in a minute. We'll just go through some of the quali laps then. There's obviously some tier 1s in here as well, because it is a friendly race. We are going to have two different winners. We can have obviously the winner for tier 1 and the winner for tier 2. So, yeah. We'll get into some of the driver moves we know of. So we'll start with Red Bull. And at the minute, we have no tier 1 drivers. So tier 1 is actually quite a low attendance at the minute. So if you know anybody that wants to join, or you want to join yourself, please do. So we have no tier 1s, but tier 2, as we get our first lap in, 129.3 from Ollie Flynn. And Sonoris has put a 129.1. The two Hasses, and then Arji Kajer at 29.5. So Progeny has actually decided he wants to stay in tier 2, and Red Bull have signed him. That's good for us. McLaren have got owner Teo in for tier 1, and tier 2 is Corey. AlphaTauri have got no tier 1s, and they have both their tier 2 lineups. L Glasses and Alfie. Alfie obviously raced in Brazil in the season finale. And has managed to get himself a seat for AlphaTauri. Alpine, probably one of the few teams that have nearly finished their lineup, as Anik Jawar sets at 29.7 and Frey at 31.1. The Torteria, Alpine TP, he has got most teams' seats sorted. He's got one tier 1 of Connor, and he's probably going to confirm himself to be his teammate. And Dub Z, and second place in the championship last season was Megan. So he's one of the teams that is nearly complete. Tier 1 McLaren, it's nothing. Arji Kajer, TP obviously, and Simon in tier 2. Williams have got Blade at the minute, and that is it. Haas, owner Tom is in the Haas. Tom is racing with us tonight. He's down in the 11th for the minute in qualifying with Sonoris and Ollie Flynn in tier 2 together. So the fastest two at the minute. Teammates for the new season. Alfa Romeo, RFA, is in Tier 1, who is currently in 5th, with Head Admin Will and Anik Jawar as the other 2 as well, which are 4th and 9th. So a lot of Alfa Romeo drivers racing tonight. Ferrari, Tier 1, nobody at the minute, and Coffee Machine and Throne Globe are your 2 racing for them at the minute, so they're both racing tonight. And Aston Martin, with 3 Bassman, who is not racing tonight, and co-owner Cosmic, who's Aston Martin TP, and they have actually just signed, literally, before we came on air, they have literally just signed another driver. They have signed Chazza Plays for Tier 2 as well to line up with Cosmic, who's down in 9th, who's currently racing at Red Bull, but literally did not have time to change because it was signed just as we were coming into the lobby. As we go and get 1 lap done while that was all happening, and that is Coffee Machine down in 5th. So a lot of drivers here, mainly Tier 2s. We have a few Tier 1s with us. A few drivers that haven't got seats at the minute. So that should be interesting. Can they prove themselves to get seats in this race? Or will they not? Obviously only 15 racing tonight. We were planned 18, but 3 haven't shown up, which is a bit annoying. One just said he couldn't show up last minute. So that is good. We have hit 11 minutes to go in qualifying. And we're going to go to Chazza Plays, because he looks like he's on a lap at the minute, and he's furthest round, as RCX Oscar has actually set fastest lap of qualifying. He's one of the drivers I don't think has a seat at the minute. So that is a very good lap time by him. There's now Chazza Plays in 11th. Just signed from Aston Martin. Rush Chimp goes into 7th as well. Yellow flag 6-2. We'll go to that in a minute. Chazza Plays goes up to 4th. Good lap from him as we're going to go to RNX MX. He goes. Right, I am back. Sorry, I had to go and just sort out some shit. Right, I am back. So, I let JWL split the two Hasses. Just we'll dive into the pit lane then. So we have 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes to go for the end of this qualifying session. There's the other Red Bull outlap, but this McLaren is next round around the track. It's both. There's two drivers to the pit, so both McLarens do as well. So both McLarens in the pit today. Next round is Ollie Flynn. Is he diving in? Yes, he is. The Ferrari, I think it's Coffee, crosses the line and goes 5th. So from 10th to 5th for him, not bad. So we're going to go to Russ Chimp next, down 11th. He's next across the line. His lap's been invalid, so we're going to go to Anik Jawar, who's coming in the pit lane, and then we're going to go to Sonorius, whose lap's been invalid. So we're going to go to RCX Oscar, crosses the line, and improves his lap time. 28.9 in into 28 flats. And that is everyone who is on a lap. I'll fail then. He's on a lap and his lap time's been invalid. Yes, that was an outlap, which it was. So he should be first around. Who's on a lap? Oh no, Throne Globe will. I think. Yeah, Throne Globe. I think RCX Oscar will come into the pit lane then. So, Throne Globe then. In the middle sector, 2 tenths up. Looking about a 6th or a 7th here. And he goes 7th. 7th for him. You have Arfay next, 3 tenths up. Crosses the line. And goes 9th. That's Chimp then. Looks like that was a purple middle sector. He's about to come around and set A. 1 minute 30.6. 4 tenths improvement, but doesn't get him any further up on the list. Right. What we're looking at is we're looking at an RCX Oscar pole. Excuse me if you heard that on the mic. Apologies for that. If you want to, I'm gonna say I was having my dinner while doing this. Fish fingers, actually, it was quite nice. So McLaren of Teo about to start a lap, and a Haas, I think, of Sonorius, he's about to start a lap. Mercedes of Alfei dives into the pit lane. So he's done. 9th the best for him. Tom on an out lap, about to start his lap, his one and only lap. Anik Jawar starts his lap. So everybody now is on their final flying runs, and we're going to go first to Teo, because he will be first round of the people on laps, I think. It says a purple first sector. So could it be a one lap masterclass for Teo here? As there's the checkered flag then. So Coffee 5th at best, Throne Globe 7th at best. Arfei, someone's just put a lap, it's Will. I completely missed that, I didn't realise Will was on a lap. Will goes 3rd fastest then in the Alfa Romeo. Chazza Plays goes pole position, 28.8. Chazza Plays in the Red Bull goes fastest then. Haas of Ollie Flynn settles for a 6th place. Arju Kajer next around then. Where will he go? He will fit in. Stays 8th. It will be Teo next round. His lap has been invalid. So we're going to go to Sonorius then. Sonorius. 3rd place in Tier 2 last season. Where will he stick the car? He will stick his car 3rd on the grid. Very tight at the front. Next up, Tom. Where would Tom stick it? Tom across the line then. Pole position, 28.4. 4 tenths quicker than anyone else. Expected for him. And a great lap. Oscar's spun somewhere. And that is it then. It is Tom who gets the pre-season pole position for Tier 1. I think Chazza Plays will get the Tier 2 pole position. Yeah, so Chazza Plays will get the Tier 2 pole position. And will... so Tom with the Tier 1 pole position, Chazza Plays with the Tier 2 pole position. Oscar, I think Oscar's actually one of the drivers that hasn't even been tiered yet. He's just joined and decided he wants to race straight away. Yeah, Oscar, non-tiered. Norris, 4th on the grid, but 2nd in Tier 2. Beats Will, who is a Tier 1. So, oh no, Tier 2. Another Tier 2. Then Anik Jawar Tier 2, Ollie Flynn Tier 2, Coffee Machine Tier 2, Arjun Kajer Tier 2, Throne Globe Tier 2, Arfei Tier 1. So not a great lap from Arfei, actually. At all, to be honest. So he has a lot of work to do in the race. So yes, it should be interesting pre-season. People getting used to the cars, and then some teammates. Obviously, Throw Globe and Coffee together. Will and not Will, maybe Will. Will and Alec Jawar. Um, Ollie Flynn, Sonorius, and now Cosmic and Chazza plays. There are some teammates together. We will do the usual what we do. The gap obviously to the leader. Pit stops. We've got tyres medium and hard for everyone. Telemetry enabled. Track time enabled with full track map. That's where we were. RFA. Y. MX. In the McLaren. I think he's again one of the non-tier drivers. Not 100% though. I've lost the chat now. I'm stupid. It's not under that chat. I think he's a non-tier. Rush Chipper tier 2, L Glass is tier 2, Tail tier 1, and he's already spam. So we're so low on tier 1s. Tail's actually got third place on the tier 1 podium at the minute, because you can only get 3 places. But yeah. Should be an interesting little battle between a couple of these drivers. We'll see Coffee Machine Throw Glow with the 2 Ferraris, 8th and 10th teammates. Fenorius and Ollie Flynn 4th and 7th teammate. Will and Alec Jaywell 5th and 6th teammates. Chazza plays 2nd and Rush Chimp 13th teammates. So a lot of teammates battles to be for bragging rights early on. To basically put out who's number 1 driver, who is number 2. If you're a TP, obviously Sonoris, I think, excuse me, that's probably decided he's the number 1 driver, and Ollie Flynn will be the number 2 driver. But for the likes of Will, actually Will may have decided he's number 1 driver, but they're so 5th and 6th. They're so split. Obviously, they're in a Haas sandwich at the minute for 4th and 7th. It's a bit of a squeeze in that Haas sandwich. But some of these may need deciding on first drivers and second drivers. As Tom has bizarrely spun on his way to the grid. Literally on his way to the grid. He gets a good spot. Chazza plays, gets a good spot. Everyone should get a good spot here, hopefully. And nobody will get disqualified with a bad grid spot. Oh, Ollie Flynn has, as soon as I said that, so there's a bit of commentator's curse then. As for not for season 9 in the first race, that is coming Friday. I'd also talk about our first race. I'll talk about Canada because that has not been released yet, actually. But we are going to get 5 red lights. Obviously, there's a bit of hold as we saw towards the end of last season, but it is lights out and away we go for somewhat of tier 1. Not for tier 1, for the tiers completely. For season 9, as Tom gets a good start, Chazza plays, everyone looks it's kind of clean at the minute. We're going to go towards the back to make sure it's all clean. It is all clean at the minute, but it looks like Tom has kept that lead from the start of Chazza plays. The top 3 say that top 4 will stay the same. Ollie Flynn has jumped the 2 Hasses, it looks like. Maybe not, because there's a Ferrari, one of the Ferraris is putting a wheel in. One of the drivers gets barged in behind. We're going to stick with this. They're still side by side going through the S section for Ollie Flynn and Will. As Ollie Flynn now goes to the outside, gets a little nudge off a bit wide there. The McLaren of Y and X Elmer, I was going to say YN because that's a really hard name to say during the race, is attacking Coffee, and Coffee's made a mistake here. It's a big mistake. He's going to lose out to the McLaren and might actually lose out to RFA as well. So 2 places lost just like that for Coffee, as we have a seconds gap already between the leaders of the top 2. Sonoris is looking pretty quick actually, and he's on the back of Oscar now. that could be quite an interesting battle in a minute. Oh, someone's gone wide, and it's Arfey. Arfey is spun. He's spun with Coffee, so there's clearly been an incident between the two of them. Obviously, it's a pre-season. Anik Jawar's left the session. Obviously, it's a pre-season. We won't be giving out penalties somewhat. We might, actually. I don't know. Sonorius goes straight for a move on Tom, I think that is. I'm just going to quickly... Oh, he could drive back. I can remember. Yeah, he could just drive back straight away. Goes through with Oscar and gets that move done. Throw Globe actually goes for a move on the Alec JR AFK car. As our famed Coffee Machine is still actually battling here at the back. We're going to actually move to El Glasses and Arjun Kajer, who's also side by side with Teo, who's got into that battle a little bit. But sided against it, and Arjun Kajer's actually been spun round. We saw that clip. Arjun Kajer's been spun round. We'll drop to the back. There's chaos in the midfield. Arfey is battling with Coffee still, with the AFK Anik Jawar. But Arjun Kajer has been spun round. Arfey goes through on Ruschimp into turn 10. Gets that move nicely done. Will Coffee follow into turn 11? He looks towards the inside line. And it's a fairly simple move. Oh, yeah, it's fairly simple because Ruschimp has actually spun it on the curb. We've had three instances with 4 drivers already in the opening 2 laps. Bit of a chaotic start for a pre-season race, shall we say. Arfey and Coffee Machine will be fighting each other throughout the race, surely. But everything looks to see has calmed down back into the 8/10th gap, except Arfey is actually catching up to Throne Globe. Maybe Coffee Machine has decided Arfey is a tier 1 driver. It's not the battle for me anymore. But a fairly settled start then. Or not settled. Only thing, first of our penalty watchers, the 3-second multiple warnings. So that's not good. So he's had 1 every lap so far, basically then. Which is not good at all. Arjun Kajer is going to get through on the AFK Anik Jawar. Arfey then is closest for a move, and it's actually for Throne Globe, as he's going to get a good exit here as the Mercedes driver. For now, he's a Mercedes driver. The Alfa Romeo driver, trying to say properly, but gets the move done into turn 11 with the DRS. So that's a fair move, and not a great start for the 2 Ferrari drivers. 11 and 12, who are both outside of the points. But even though it doesn't really matter, and there's a yellow flag, and it's El Glasses. El Glasses and Throne Globe have actually spun. They're nowhere near each other on track, so it looks like they just spun on the spinny corner. It's catching people out, and it's caught those 2 out then. Turn 11, 12, I'm going to say towards the gap between 12 and 13. They have both spun them. And it's made the Ferrari driving a Throne Globes race bad to worse. This is only a pre-season, but you want to be putting in some good results already, showing what you got. Now Glass has actually spun it again in the final corner. I'm guessing that's just heated tyres, the brakes. So he will now be probably most likely out of it and looking for a safety car. As Oscar's going back at Sonorius here, they're side by side, and it's good defending work for Sonorius. No, it's not. Straight down the inside. He's gone a bit deep though. Can he get it stopped? There's a yellow flag in there. It's Chazza Plays, I think. It is Chazza Plays. Chazza Plays has gone off somewhere from P2. So now this is the battle for P. This is basically the battle for P2 now. Someone else has spun. It's Will. Will's spun now from turn 10. So we've got chaos here. Oscar's actually got back past Sonorius through all that. There's chaos left, right, and centre. So Oscar's back up to P2. Chazza Plays has spun. Gone down to 7th. Will's just spun himself again. Well, not again, but he's just spun. So chaos here, as we're going to go to this battle for P2 that's raging on. Oilflint gets past YN in the McLaren, but as Sonorius goes for a move into the final corner, that's a bold move, but he's thinking better of it, and it looks like he's going to go for the DRS move on the straight. Oscar's doing quite well to save his DRS here. but it will be no match of the DRS down that main straight. Fairly simple move. R30 sets the fastest lap of the race. Ollie Flynn loses out to YN in the McLaren, goes for a move, and actually spins and hits the McLaren. I don't think the McLaren could have done anything else there, but the McLarens look like they're going to swap. It's battling for P2 again. We're going to go to this battle with Oscar. Oscar goes back for the move down the inside into turn 4, gets the job done, and they'll reply for Sonorius this time. I thought the McLarens were going to switch there. Actually, they have switched, sorry. As Taylor goes into P4 with YN and P5. So we're looking... Arthur gets past Chazza Plays. Chazza Plays... I think Chazza Plays may have spun again there, actually. Chazza Plays might lose out to Will here into turn 10. Because he's a bit wider. No, he's not. He's managed to cut it back in a little bit. That 5 of 29. Tom is... just smashed it at the minute. He's about 8 seconds up the road for these two. Yes, he's in tier 1, and the next tier 1 along is Teo. He's probably about 10 seconds away from them. As Sonorius actually gets past Oscar, he goes a bit wide during that little bit. Maybe he's just thinking, I'll have the DRS. His coffee machine gets a 3-second time penalty. Is he going to have a look here at Oscar? It's the final corner move. We don't normally see them. No, he's not. He's going to settle for the DRS. We're also looking for some good moves as well. Good moves would be nice. But DRS, what can Sonorius do to defend it? He hasn't got much ERS compared to Oscar. But Oscar down the inside into turn 1. Gets that move nicely done. Sonorius on the switchback though. Tries it. Arfe gets past RYN. Well, that's happening. As Sonorius now looks for a move. Can't get it done, so we're going to go to the move at the back. And it's Arfe defending from Teo. We're going to go to the front one. Nothing happened there. They're going to try and go side by side into the S's here, which is not going to happen. Because Arfe, that's moved done on RN. So obviously tier 1s are sat first, 4th and 5th at the minute. With tier 2s in all the other positions. So the tier 1 podium, the overall podium is as normal. But the tier 1 podium will be Tom, Teo, Arfe. And the tier 2 podium will be... funny enough, it will be Sonorius winning it, I think. Because Oscar's... Yeah, Sonorius will with the tier 2. With Chazza Plays and Will second and third. Because Oscar and YN have not done their time trials to be allocated a tier yet. So they could only just fight for overall. So it will be Sonorius, Chazza Plays and Will in the podium for tier 1 at the minute. But there's a long way to go. And you never know with this bunch, you might get some safety cars or something. So then, everything is quite... Looks like that battle for P2 has quietened down a little bit. YN looks like he's quietened down with Arfe. Will looks like he's looking racy with Chazza Plays. Which was what we're going to look at, actually. No, we're not, because Chazza Plays Will's just made a mistake in the S's. So, the medium runners look like they could be... we're on lap 6. So we're looking at a pit stop soon for them as Will gets a penalty. Penalties are stacking up for these drivers. Maybe Bahrain they're going to struggle on. We can't confirm. Oh, there's a spinner there. And it's YN. We saw that flicking through. We saw that brilliantly timed. YN down to 9th with the spin. We can confirm. We decided to do Bahrain as it's a test track for F1. We thought, why not just do Bahrain for a race? But our first race next weekend has been confirmed as Austria. The full calendar hasn't been confirmed yet. Oh, and there's a move there. It's Will going for a move that Chazza Plays at the left hand at turn 11, which hasn't paid off. It's gone deep. So our first race next weekend will be Austria. Hopefully both teams will be racing in that. Fingers crossed. But the full calendar hasn't been released. As Rush Chimp actually gets the move done, it looks to me like it was round the outside at turn 11, which is annoying. We didn't get an on clip because it would be a nice move. But straight round the outside, contact. I was going to say it was nice and clean, but throw a little bit of contact. We get our first pit stopper in Chazza Plays. We've got to keep an eye on Chazza Plays then, because he's the first major, not major runner, but runner in that top 10 to pit. I was thinking that would be a brilliant move from Throne Globe if there's no contact, but there was. As Tails actually caught onto the back of Sonorius here for the podium overall. Yellow flag itself glasses at the back, spinning at the spinny corner. Hopefully that does not bring out a safety car or anything like that. So, overall battle then for P3 is heating up. Oh, Sonorius made a mistake. We had a poor camera angle of it. Sonorius made a mistake at turn 10. I'm guessing he just took too much outside curb. Couldn't get it stopped. The tail goes through simple as you like. 9.5 second lead there for Tommy. He looks pretty set at the minute. As El Glasses comes into the pit lane again and is about to get lapped. So not a good pre-season race for him, spinning a few times. So, anyone else going to dive into the pit lane this lap? Or was it Chazza Plays diving in maybe a little bit early? Maybe a little bit early, but we shall see where he comes back in. I think he pitted about 7th place. Arfe actually gets past Sonorius. He looks like he's spun or some sort of contact. I was too busy looking to see if anyone's pitting. And Sonorius has just dropped 2 places, both in tier 1, so he won't be complaining too much. It looks like Sonorius has gone back through there. I don't know if it was a let-through from our fakes of contact earlier on. If it was an actual move. But another move back for Sonorius. Someone... Oh, it was El Glasses. I was going to say someone's just spinning, and it was El Glasses. So we will not... scream at that. Best battle on track at the minute looks like it's this one at the front, and we're going to get a move here. It's going to be Arfe trying a move, and it's going to get it done before the braking zone of turn 11. Into 4th place he goes, and will fight down tail for P2 in the tier 1 race. Sonorius, he may fight back at him. He may not. Obviously, he leads the tier 2 battle at the minute because Oscar is not tiered. So he leads the tier 2 race with Will in 2nd, Coffee Machine in 3rd. We're going to have a look though. Will Sonorius get the move back done again on Arfe for overall P4? He's going to have a look down round the outside into turn 1, which will give him a good line, trying a little cutback. Can't get it done. Good defending from Arfe. What's it going to look like down into turn 4? Will there be a move sent? No, there will not. He will have to settle behind. And all this battling is keeping Will up behind them for an overtake to be basically leading. This is now the battle for 4th overall, but it is the battle as well for the tier 2 lead of the race. So clearly some of the medium runners are starting to lose pace a little bit, especially Sonorius. Maybe he's stuck behind Arfe. But maybe the medium tyres are done, and so we should be getting some pit stops soon. Teo, though, is now getting on the battle for overall P2 with Oscar. Oscar not tiered, though. So he will not be in the tier 1 or tier 2 battles. He can only fight for overall. Obviously, the more pace he puts in and the better race result he gets, might prove his tier a bit more as well. As there's loads of battles now coming out on track, because I could just see on the gap, YN is actually on the battle for Coffee Machine, which will be 7th on track, but 3rd, sorry, in the tier 2 battle. Tail looks like he's going to get that move pretty sorted pretty soon. Down the inside, that should be done. Yellow flag sector 2, and it's Rust Chimp. As a move for Will. Will looks like he's going to get that move done. No, he's not. Sonorius defends well. He's going to let him through, so he will get that move done. YN is actually going to get a move now done for 3rd in tier 2, but 7th on track. So there's moves all over the place. We've got a new leader in the 2-2 race and a new 3rd place driver as well. Oh, this is actually Katie with Coffee Machine. Coffee Machine lost the race. Oh, this might bring Ollie Flynn back into it for that battle for Tier 2 podium, as Russ Chimp now comes into the pit lane for a change of tyres on the hards. I'll just double check. I'm pretty sure Will is put down as a Tier 2 driver. He is. Will is down as a put Tier 2 driver, so that is him in the lead then for the that's him in the lead for Tier 2, as the race leader now comes into the pit lane. Race leader is coming into the pit lane then overall. So that one hands over the Tier 1 race leader to Teo. Oscar actually did get back through on Teo. Most likely at turn 4. Will has actually got our phase now in the pit lane as well. And Sonorous. So we've got to now look at Chazza Plays, who is now lost people in. Coffee, Ollie Flynn. They're double stacking at Haas. A lot of the medium tyres. That's a perfect double stack from Haas. Oh, maybe not. From Haas. Chazza Plays then is coming across the line now. And there is the Haas of Sonorous, and he's going to have a go around the outside here as Chazza Plays, and he's going to get that move done. So Sonorous loses a few places actually. Obviously a lot of people haven't stopped. RFA's trying to get past Throne Globe. Of course, people, you can see load of hard runners, but Chazza Plays got past Sonorous. That is for position. That's for position and for the Tier 2 battle, so that's a good move for him. And it might be a pretty good strategy as well. So Tom leads from the non-pit stoppers. Second place will be RFA at the minute, maybe. We don't know. There's a lot of unknowns till everyone's pitted. So we're going to turn off tyres because I think everyone apart from YN is in the pits. Yeah, we're going to put stops. So there you go. There's the stops. So apart from YN, everyone's in the pit lane. Was being in the pit lane on the mediums, and then the rest is going to be hards. So YN, he's not coming in this lap. He's actually going to he's going to fight L Glasses. L Glasses has been lapped, so a lot of everyone else is on hard runners at the minute. That hasn't stopped except from YM. So the battle for the lead then is still fighting up. I think that's quieting down a little bit since earlier on. RFA then, can he get past Throne Globe? Down the inside goes RFA. Simple. On the no brakes needed. Job done for the Tier 1 driver who brings him up to P7. Teo still can't get any way through. We're going to hit half race distance in a minute. 29. Yeah, half race distance. In a lap. Basically, because it's halfway round. Excuse me. About to get half race distance then. People in the hards have actually gone quite well on this, and there's no safety cars or VSCs or anything so far. A good driving, good clean driving from everyone so far. Battle for the lead then. Will Teo have a go at Oscar now? Oscar non-tiered, Teo Tier 1. Teo looks for a move then. Down the inside, can he get it stopped? Yes, he can. Will Oscar have any fight to do it as YN comes into the pit lane and gets a 5-second tyre penalty for speeding? So it should be interesting to see where he comes out. And Oscar goes for a move at turn 4. It's a bold move for turn 4. Teo gives him some room, but can't get any side-by-side action or anything there. So, where will YN come out the pit lane? Oh, maybe he will get some side-by-side action because Oscar moves back into the race lead. And it looked like it was going to be a good move as well, and I missed it. YN's going to come out P10. Yellow flag sector 2, it's L Glass is spinning. So we do not get excited unless we get a safety car. Which would, if we get a safety car, it will help the hard compound runners a lot, really. As they could stop, free pit stop. Yes, they'll be on mediums, but they have time to calm it down if it's a full safety car. Not to waste the tyres and just save them for a few laps. This is the only battle on track at the minute, then. Tom didn't get past. He did get past YM because YM stopped. He's our overall race leader at the minute. The pit stops. Oscar tries to fool a dummy in for Teo to come into the pit lane, which doesn't work. Will Teo go for a move this time? 3 attempts back. No, he won't. He'll try and set it up for a move round the final corner as El Blaster spins again. But Teo actually did go wide at turn 1, so there'll be no moves into turn 4. When Flynn gets another penalty, then we'll have a look at penalties round lap 26-27, because they may pull into the place of things towards the end of this race for any position changes for podiums or anything for the tiers. El Glasses spins again, this time at the final corner, so he's at about 7 spins already this time. Already on lap 15 then. This is the only battle on track, everything else is over a second, so we don't need to look at. We're going to have a look at places up. 13 for Teo, so good for him. Most people lowest dropped is actually 8 at JYB's left, so it's going to be 6 for Chazza Plays. But that should happen with the tier 2s a bit further back for messing up as El Glasses spins at the same corner again. Is it a fake this time? No, it's not. Oscar comes into the pit lane then. He loses the race lead. And Will join as well. So eyes are mainly on Will here to see where he comes out in terms of the tier 2. Tier 2 not championship, but podium. Arja Kajer will come round to take the lead for tier 2. So Will then, I think he should come in second. Yes, he should. There's a battle here. Chazza Plays gets past Throne Globe. That is for P3 in the tier 2 battle. That is for P3. Throne Globe yet to stop. Oscar P4 net overall. El Glasses is spun for the 3rd time on this lap. And looks like he might get lapped for the 2nd time in a minute. As Alec Jaywell gets lapped himself. So it's looking fairly lively at the minute. Teo then. Things are starting to heat up. Because Chazza Plays and Will are about to fight in a minute for the next race tier 2 lead. Because Archer didn't stop. Teo's stopping them. So it's interesting to see where he will come out in terms of RFA. But Tom will take the net race lead in tier 2 lead. Tier 1 lead, sorry. Again. Arja Kajer then, will he come in for a pit stop? No, he will not. So he will carry on as tier 2 race leader. Oscar should come. Here we go. Can he? Where will he come in terms of Teo? Teo comes out. Oscar pretty far behind still. But obviously Teo has to warm those tyres up. But they're pretty easy to warm up, as they are not like those hards. I was going to say Chazza Plays might fight Will here for the tier 2 net race lead. But Will looks like he might have that kind of covered. The top 4 in that net race lead. Oh, big of a slide there for Will. A big slide, because that's lost about half a second. So that's back on again. The tier 2 top 4 are all together. As someone spun, I think. And it could have been Teo. I'm not quite... It was Teo. Was it Teo? I don't know. It looks like someone spun. Went off. So the bit battle really is for this tier 2 net P3 between the non-pit stoppered Throne Globe and the pit stop. Oh, coffee machine. We've lost out to Ollie Flynn there. That is P4 in tier 2, which will tier P5. Oh, here we go. So the net race leader then from tier 2 comes into the pit lane then. He will drop past Will. He will drop past Chazza Plays. He will drop past Norris's Throw Globe also comes in. So the net race leader for tier 2 is Will. Second is Chazza Plays. Third is Sonorius. That's your tier 2. Fifth to 7th is your tier 2 podium. There's Ollie Flynn and Coffee Machine having a good scrap here. Ollie Flynn did get through a Coffee Machine on the run down to turn 11. And now they've been scrapping down the straight, it looks like. And Ollie Flynn's managed to keep the position. So that brings him up to P5 overall in tier 2. So a nice move for him. So, tier 1 looks, overall you can see normally. Tier 1 race leader is Tom. Second place, Teo. Third place, Arfei, because Oscar is not tiered. Will leads in tier 1 battle. Chazza plays second with Sonorius third. But YN is not registered for fourth. It's not registered, so he doesn't count. Fourth is Arjun Kajer. Fast lap is Teo. Fourth is Arjun Kajer. Fifth, Ollie Flynn. Sixth, Coffee. Seventh, Throne Globe. Eighth, Rush Chimp. Ninth, Alec JWR. 10th, L Glasses. Excuse me. So, major battle on track is Ollie Flynn and Coffee Machine. That is the P5 in the tier 2 battle. And 10th overall. That is the major battle at the minute. So Norris is actually hunting down Chazza Players for P2 in tier 2, but that's not in the under the second ratio just yet. We get 10 laps to go. Still no safety car, bizarrely. I was kind of expecting something from these 15 drivers. But still no safety car or VSC, and there's no scrap now because that's gone over a second. So there's no instance to be occurred. So, you know what? We'll have a look at penalties now. And Chazza Plays will lose the second place overall for tier 2 to Sonorius. Quiet race now as we settle down a little bit. We're going to get a little battle here, I think, in a minute. But for this battle for between P2 for P2 for tier 2 and 6th place overall between Sonorius and Chazza Plays. I think tier 2 again will be really good this year. Obviously, we still have the top 5 who are in a really good title fight from last year. Obviously, yes, Coffee Machine and Anik JWR did lose out on the final round and didn't get to there. But the top 3 are still there. Prodigy, Coffee, Prodigy, Sonorius and Mosmegan are still there, with Anik JWR and Coffee as well to hold some fights. Ollie Flynn looks quick as well, maybe to fight for podiums. Same with Arjun Kajer. And obviously, Will at the minute looks like he's going to go and win the tier 2 race from the slot, and he will look feisty as well for that Tier 2 championship. So, who knows? It's going to be very interesting. We're going to get a spinner, and it is Coffee Machine at turn 11. Rejoins fairly simply, as Chazzaplays actually comes into the pit lane again. So his hards are done. He's wanting the 2-stop strategy. And he actually did pick up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So Sonorous will take P2 in the battle for Tier 2. And RJ Kajet will actually take P3 now. So he will be very happy with that. As we get a yellow flag for L Glasses spinning again. He's not having the best race, is he? And there's a yellow flag to Sector 1, and it is Coffee Machine spinning again. And there's a yellow flag, because I think that's because there was L Glasses, but it's not. Still a yellow flag Sector 1, Coffee Machine has rejoined. Yeah, he has rejoined, so... He's okay. He's good. There is no safety car, and there will be no fight towards the end just yet. Oh, and he loses it again, actually. He does lose it again, but we saw our Glasses lose it a few times there, and there was nothing. So I don't think that will come to anything either. So, no battles on track. It will go, at the minute, penalties may hold a play into this. No battles on track. Penalties will play a part. There could be one brewing up in a minute, actually. Arfei and Oscar. Yes, Arfei's got a 3-second tyre penalty. But you never know. Oscar might pull one himself, too. That looks like the best closest between two at the minute. So, yeah. Looks quite quiet. Another yellow flag, Sector 2, and it is Coffee Machine spinning again. Coming down the S section. He might get lapped in a minute, surprisingly. He hasn't had the best first pre-season race. Yes, it's only pre-season. That is not good. Austrian GP next weekend then. For the first round. Hopefully Tier 1 will go ahead with some good attendance. Fingers crossed. Tier 2 most likely will definitely be going ahead. So Saturday definitely will be starting off with a bang for Tier 2. We have 15 I think we've got 16 drivers now confirmed for Tier 2, with a whole bunch of reserves. So 4 seats left basically for Tier 2. Yellow flag Sector 1. And I think that was Teo, actually. Having a little moment. A little moment. But it's quieting down a little bit then. Penalties will play a part, but I'm not going to add them up or anything. We'll just have to wait for the end. To us, I don't think many will change. As it looks, I think Chazza Plays will lose out to Throne Globe. And that looks about it, really. If I'm honest. So, yeah. But it looks to me like the Tier 2 podium will be Will, Sonorius and Arjikajer. And the Tier 1 podium will be Tom, Teo, Arfei. With the overall podium being Tom, Teo and Oscar. So, we look forward to the weekend. Obviously, we still got 5 laps to go. Things could change, and I thought that was a major one. Oh! And there is a major play. Because Chazza Plays is out. Will that cause a safety car or something? Will that cause something spicy towards the end? Will we get the spy safety car we all wanted? Come on. It looks like he's stopping on the back straight. Will we get the safety car we wanted? I don't think we will. No, we won't. That's annoying. I thought we were then, and I was going to be very, very excited. I thought safety car slid me a little bit of spice to that. But yeah. Yellow flag to 2, and that's El Glass, I think, pretty sure again. Yeah, El Glass is spinning. You love to see it. It will mean just small places for those tier 2s and everyone. It will be more places for those tier 2s overall. For 4th, Wally Flynn will get that now. 5th will be Throne Globe. 6th, Coffee. 7th, Rush Chimp. 8th, Anik Jawar. 9th, El Glasses. And 10th, 10th retired, and our only retirement at the minute will be Chazza Plays, who literally just signed the contract with Aston Martin before we started. So that's not a great impression for him. No idea what happened, if it was a give up or if it was a spin. But that's not good for him. We have a little battle on track. It will mean nothing because of penalties, as you can see. The yellow flag's to 1, and it's one of the red Ferraris, and it's Coffee spinning again. Speaking of Coffee, he's actually just been lapped. So we're gonna have a look at first of all, we're gonna have a look at this battle for P3. It will mean nothing because of the penalty for Arfei, but it will mean a fight. Maybe Oscar's tyres have died out a little bit here. And then there's a battle with RGKJ and YN, which also means nothing at the minute because of the penalties. As you can see, YN having 5 and RGKJ having 11. So that would mean nothing, as we're gonna have a look at this battle for P3. Yes, it'll mean nothing because of penalties, but you never know. Oscar may pull one off. Oh, that was a very nearly close to the back of Oscar was Arfei there. El Glasses gets another penalty then at the back. And Coffee, I know Coffee Machine's a ghost, but he's got to be careful here because he's in this fight here, and you don't want him giving DRS to Oscar down the back straight, or the main straight here, which he looks like he will. He's not getting out of the way, which is going to really annoy Arfei here. He's going to give Oscar DRS. Yes, he will. That's going to really annoy Arfei. As Arfei looked like he was going to have a goal there into the final corner from miles back. I thought, wow, that was going to be a collision, but he managed to get it stopped. So we will go to this battle. No, we won't, because I think by the time they're on the main straight, they will be into turn 4, or on the way to turn 4, which is right. Ollie Flynn penalty makes another one for him. That could be interesting with him and Throne Globe, actually, with penalties. So yeah, they're done. But we're gonna have a look at Arjikajer trying to get past YN, which will mean nothing. But yeah, it mean nothing penalty unless YN spins. And there's a nice switch back there from Arjikajer. Arjikajer takes a bit too much curb, which will slow him down a little bit, but he has DRS towards turn 4. And I was going to say nothing to comes of it, but you never know. Going down the S section, I've come off it a few times and something's happened. And nothing will happen, and nothing happens down to turn 11 for that battle for P3 overall. But obviously, time penalties and stuff. I don't know how many warnings. And that, just saying, yellow flag is one of the Ferraris, and that is coffee machine with a loose wing. I'm just saying that, but I know that means nothing because of penalties again, but that battle for the lead has been drastically dropped throughout this race, and nobody's spotted it. Thomas is now down to 1.2. I mean, if he picks up a penalty, that might be for the race in a minute, but RFA can't get through on Oscar down the straight. Can he have a look into turn 4? Coffee machine, obviously with no wing, 5 seconds time penalty speeding the pit lane. And actually loses out to Russ Chimp as well. So that's a place lost for him in the overall context. Then, Ajkajer, down the inside of YN. It will mean nothing because of penalties unless YN spins. But that's a nice move. And Ajkajer on track moves up to P7. And, yeah, good move for the third place man in the Tier 2 Tier 2 race at the minute. But give him a little bit of not much room, Ajkajer, for YN. YN! Oh, there's a touch! A little spin and a reset to track, which is allowed. I did say a spin would probably... he needs a second and a half. I was going to say Ajkajer might get that place now, but he spun with the spin, but he needs a second and a half, realistically, to get that in a lap. Which you actually might be doing here a little bit. That's good to keep an eye on in the last lap. But we're going to go to this battle for P3, which means nothing unless a spin or a penalty happens. But we did see one there earlier on. Yellow flag sector 2, and it is a Mercedes. And that's Ajkajer, I think. Ajkajer spun himself. So that, maybe he's waiting for him to come back or something. I don't know. But Arfei gets the move done down the inside on Oscar. Oscar tries to fight back. Oscar, 3-second time penalty. So this is now for P3, and Oscar's spun. Oscar has spun. That was for P3 on track. Oscar has spun. Will get the P4 now on track, surely. Yes, he will. Drama towards the end. RFA will take the P3. Will take the P4. YN now goes back at Ajkajer again. So drama in these last 2 laps for these positions. There might be a battle, I was going to say, there might be a battle between the 2 cars there, between Anajawa and Coffee, but I think Anajawa was AFK still, so they'll be well. And there's a battle for the lead. Yes, it means nothing because of the penalties. But that battle, I don't know if Tom slowed down or something for a fight. But if Tom spins or picks up a penalty, which we have seen twice already, it will give Teo the win. But I think he's not going to be close enough as Teo. And Tom is experienced enough to know what the track limits are here. So Tom will take the pre-season race win and the Tier 1 race win. Then Teo will come home P2. Teo will take the win on track, actually, but Tom will take it overall. Teo P2. Arfei will get P3 on track and P3 in the Tier 1s. All Tier 1s are together. And it looks to me like there's a move at the back there. YN gets past Ajkajer, so they're still fighting out towards the end, even though it means nothing. And Ajkajer, great move that. We're going to have... So Will take the race win for Tier 2. Oscar, good debut drive for him, P5, except from the end there. Sonoris will take a P2 for Tier 2. And I think it will be it'll be Ajkajer to take the P3 for Tier 2. But a good scrap with YN towards the end. But YN will take overall P7. Ajkajer, Tier 2, P3. Ollie Flynn will take P9, but overall Tier 2, 4th. Throne Glow, P10, overall Tier 2, 5th. Rush Chimp will take 11th and Tier 2, 6th. Coffee Machine, 12th. Tier 2, 7th. I think Anik Jaywar will get Tier 2, 8th. L Glass is Tier 2, 9th. And then the one DNF being Chazza plays. So that is it. We are done for the pre-season race. Hope you enjoyed that with the drama. We will hopefully see you for Tier 1 on Friday. And if not, Tier 2 on Saturday. So yeah. Good drive from everyone. Good race. A few incidents, but nothing much. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We shall see you on Friday, hopefully, for Tier 1, and definitely for Tier 2 on Sunday for Season 9 for PIR. Hope you guys enjoyed that pre-season. We'll see you then. Goodbye for now.